Ever find yourself wondering how you're going to get off the sofa and back into training after the off season, or any break really? So today I'm going to share with you what I've found over the years to be the key things that you need to consider when you're getting back to fitness. It's taken me 10 years to figure this out, so hopefully today it's going to shortcut a few things for you. Right, for me it is the end of the off season. I'm sure for a lot of you guys you might be in the same sort of place. This time of year is when you might have had a few weeks downtime and now you're kind of looking to build back for 2021 and hit a few key races really hard. So I thought the best thing today would be to talk you through a few good habits that you can take and need to apply these really, in my opinion, for your training. And also then we'll have a look at some of the stuff that I've been doing more recently, and maybe you can take some lessons from that and hopefully it backs up the points that I'm going to say. So first thing up is making sure that you have your sleep dialed. So you need to make sure that you're getting a consistent amount of sleep every night. You're going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time. This is going to make you feel so much better. Your energy levels will go up and that will get you in a good place ready to train. I don't know about you, but I always find in the off season, bedtimes tend to creep out later, lines tend to creep in like further and further, so it's really important to make sure that you get back to a good schedule before you start training. So the next good habit after sleep is making sure that you've got your food in place. It's another thing that tends to slip in the off season: junk food, takeaways, not eating at the same times consistently, getting the right amount of calories in for what you're doing. This is something which you really need to get figured out before you start training, because if this isn't in place, you're going to fall apart pretty quick. For me personally, these next two go hand in hand. So you need to make sure that if you have any lingering injuries from last season, and this is very applicable to me as it turns out, I had a bit of a plantar issue in my foot and I've been waiting for that to go for the past kind of 6-8 weeks. It's been slow, but the other thing that's really helped that move along is getting your strength and conditioning work really kind of in place and doing it at the same time every week with a nice progressive build towards the season. For me personally, this has helped kind of get me out of couch potato mode and also sort that injury out too. So you can't start training properly if you've still got lingering injuries, and a good gym foundation is going to put you in the best place moving forward. If you want to see maybe what a gym session could look like, then I did put a video up here, I can never remember which side. One of those that basically shows you some ideas for sessions and why you should consider S&C. So with these in place, there's a few other things. I find this a good time of year if you want to get a bike fit before you've done any training. It gives you the maximum amount of time to adapt, or if you want to make any changes further down the line, you've got plenty of time to do that. Sorting out other kit, so maybe new run shoes if your last ones were getting a bit dead. Yeah, it's just a good time to check in and make sure that all your kit is functional. It's going to get you through the next few months of training. And then finally, you want to take this time of year. If you've got a coach, great, you'll probably do it with them anyway, but you need to be setting goals at this point. So maybe looking ahead to races next year, or perhaps they're more sort of process goals of what sort of training do you want to be ticking off, what sort of PBs, times, etc. Whatever it is, you need to get that written down now to hold yourself accountable to it for the rest of the year. Okay, so with all that said, I have my laptop here, and I'll put the screen up now so you can see what I'm seeing on here. Here we have, looking all the way back to Outlaw X. This is the last race I did. You missed the recap video of that. Up here. I literally don't know which side. My camera seems to flip it. Here we have the Outlaw stats, which I've been through in the recap video as well. And then we can look to the week after Outlaw. You can see I had a 5 days completely off, not even thinking about triathlon. And then 2 hours across the weekend of bits and bobs, just probably getting a bit bored of sitting on the sofa at that point. Through to the next week, similar sort of story. My foot injury was still lingering on at this point. You can see though I've started on a Monday and a Thursday here to include the gym sessions in. So this is the first bit of laying the foundations for good consistent training later on. After that, you can see this week here, I was getting really bored, so I was like, oh, I'll kind of throw a bit more training in. I was still testing my foot out regularly to see if I could actually run on it, and maybe getting a bit carried away and sometimes taking 2 steps back for 1 step forward, which wasn't ideal, but impatience. Moving on to the week after, once again another 5-hour week here, odds and ends, and then another 4-hour week. So it's really low level maintenance, just doing enough that makes sure you're not putting a weight on is normally my way of doing it. I know some people like to put on off-season weight, but each to their own. I find it hard to do that. And then had a week away here on holiday with a lot of walking. Madeira videos, check those out as well. It was a pretty wicked place. So now we're looking at, this is 2 weeks ago. You can see I was still, at this point, actually substituting walking in for my running. So I was getting a bit of volume in on my feet, but it wasn't running. It was power walking, let's call it. Looking super cool doing that as well, might add. So that slowly built up. We've still got the gym sessions in here, and this is about the time when I was thinking, right, I need to get my food a bit more sorted out, stop eating flipping Cocoa Pops for breakfast, back on the porridge, back on the early bedtimes. And you can see here last week, up to 10 hours of training, so that's kind of getting the body used to moving again every day. And then this last week, plenty of green there, which is always nice, and a few bike sessions and a few run sessions. So it's been a gradual build back up. There was a lot of complete rest there. I don't tend to do nothing at all. I find that quite hard to deal with in the long term. I feel like a bit of a slob if I do absolutely nothing. But you can see really restricted training compared to leading up to the races last year. And I'm pretty happy here that it's 22 weeks until Mallorca. That's a long time, that's nearly half a year. So as much as you want to get back to fitness quickly, you have to understand that you can peak too soon, and then you find yourself with nowhere to go. You can end up getting burnt out, injury, etc., etc. So patience is, like I said, a good thing to have and will pay dividends later in the season. I normally start training sort of the start of October after a bit of a break, or middle of October. Starting at the middle end of November here, I'm hoping we'll go some way to target the fact that I normally lose motivation a bit around sort of July, August, and maybe extend my season through to those later races, August, September, but still going strong. Right, so there you go. That is my key habits. Make sure you get your sleep, food, gym, injuries, kit, goals, all in place. And I think that will put you in a good stead leading into the 2021 season, where, fingers crossed, we will have some events, because it has been a year of disappointment. Let's just leave it at that. So yeah, that's my tips, hopefully useful. Let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about doing some more kind of daily training vlogs, like if you saw my vlogs, the OG subscribers will remember. I tended to do training vlogs, so if you're interested in seeing more of that, do let me know in the comments and I will get back on those, because they're quite fun to make, and it's a good way of documenting what training this time of year looks like, although it's quite dark most of the time. If you enjoyed the video and you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subs by the new year, although that might be optimistic. Give the video a like and I will see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.